afternoon slash evening slash morning slash afternoon Mets fans. It is I, Mr. Met, coming at you on, at the time, 3:30 or so on a Sunday afternoon. The Mets are in the middle right now of their second spring training game. When I turned the game off, Archimedes Caminero, who has perhaps the best name on the Mets roster, didn't quite have the best stuff today. He was tasked with, or tagged rather, with like 6 runs or 4 runs or 5 runs or whatever. No bueno. But in any event, I wanted to get a video recorded because I'm on my way out of town on a Sunday afternoon, and I'm not going to be back until Thursday. So I wanted to get a video recorded because there was some stuff that's worth talking about over the last day or so that I want to get out there and get on the video. So I'm going to do that today and talk about it right now. Yesterday was spring training game numero uno, and the Mets collected their first win of 2019 over the Braves 4-3. Pete, don't call me Peter, Alonso was the star of the game. Had a monster home run in his first swing of the spring. Followed that up in his next at-bat with a walk. So we have to be really encouraged with that. Of course, it's small sample size, but nothing like seeing the Big Bopper come out and bop in his first at-bat of the spring. Walter Lockett started the game yesterday for the Mets. Was okay, pitched okay in the first inning, ran into some trouble in the second, but you know, this is the spring. We get to see lots of different pitchers, and the results really don't matter, as today's game will indicate. The Mets are going to lose. They were losing, I think, 10-1 when like I said, when I turned the game off. And I figured I'd record a video because I am actually traveling to Las Vegas, and interestingly, that is where the story that I'm going to talk about is emanating from. Bryce Harper and the Philadelphia Phillies are engaged in significant talks as we speak, or as I talk, or as I speak, or whatever, in Las Vegas. So maybe when I land at McCarran tonight, the Phillies contingent will be on their way out of town with Bryce Harper in tow. You know, I've said it a few times, and I don't think that I'm not that concerned about Harper staying in the division. Would I rather see him someplace else? Certainly. But you know, the Mets have handled Harper over the last 5-6 years. He's not been that much of a thorn in the side of the Mets. And it's not like his presence in Washington catapulted them over the Mets and into postseason greatness. I mean, the Nats have yet to win a postseason series. So, you know, if Harper does end up signing in Philadelphia, I don't know. I'm not that upset about it. I'm really not. And maybe I should be, you know, because maybe him being in Philly in that ballpark with that short porch in right field is going to make him an even better player. And, okay, so what if it does? I'm just not that concerned about it. And I'm more concerned with the Mets playing to their own capabilities. I'm not that concerned about the other teams in the division, because I feel like if the Mets play the way that we know they can play, the other teams in the division aren't going to be an issue. I just feel like the Mets are in a good position to run the division this year. And I know the division is good, and I know it's gotten better, and it's now really a 4-team race for the top spot in the NL East. But look, the Mets, again, I feel like the Mets are in as good a position as any of these teams to make a difference and win the division. So if Harper ends up signing with the Phillies over the next 24 hours or whatever it is, if that ends up happening, so be it. You know, it doesn't matter to me. Let him sign with the Phillies. Let them give up 10 years of contract and whatever to Bryce Harper, and hopefully he gets the money that he wants and that he feels that he deserves, and he becomes the richest player in the history of baseball. Again, doesn't matter to me all that much. I'm just not sweating it. And in a month or 2 months or whatever, when he is on the field and making a difference, maybe I'll bite my tongue right now. Maybe I'll be eating these words, but I'll believe it when I see it, is the way I want to put it. So I wanted to get that recorded because I think by the next time I record a video, which will be no sooner than Thursday of this coming week, Bryce Harper might well be signed. And so I missed the chance to talk about Machado before he signed. I didn't want to miss the chance to do the same for Harper. So the other thing of interest is that Marwin Gonzalez signed a 2-year contract with the Twins. The guy who I felt was the best utility option on the market heading into the offseason is now signed. He's locked up with Minnesota for 2 years. Something like $21 million, I think, was the total. It's a good contract for the Twins. I think Marwin Gonzalez is a great player. And frankly, if I had the choice between Marwin Gonzalez and Jed Lowry, I would have gone with Marwin Gonzalez if it were up to me. That being said, I'm happy with Lowry, provided, of course, that his knee holds up and he doesn't miss the whole season. But there I am slipping into Panic City, and I don't want to do that just yet. So that's going to wrap it up for today. I will be back later this week, more than likely on Friday. By that point in time, the Mets will have played a few more spring training games. We'll have gotten to see Noah Syndergaard throw some pitches. We'll have gotten to see Steven Matz throw some pitches, and Zach Wheeler as well. And hey, even Jason Vargas. So by that point in time, we'll have a little bit more to talk about, and I'll be back to do it later in the week. Until then, you can follow me on Twitter at Mr_Met. And oh, by the way, on the Twitter, I'm going to be lax with the Mets trivia this week as well. So those of you who enjoy that, I apologize for slipping on that this week, this past week, and I'll pre-apologize for slipping this coming week because there ain't going to be much trivia coming your way. So anyway, talk to you guys later in the week. Thanks for watching. As always, let's go Mets.